This is Dave Espino, and welcome to my Udemy course on how to turn flea market trash into eBay treasure. Now, I'm totally excited to share with you some of the things I've learned over the last 42 years of selling and buying at flea markets. Now, I know that makes me sound really old, like I'm 80 years old or something, right? But the truth is, my parents started a flea market business when I was 7 years old. So I've actually been in and out of flea markets, buying, selling, negotiating, all of it for actually about 42 years. And so I consider myself an expert. Let's get into the presentation because I have a lot to cover. I want to share with you specific items you can look for at your local flea market that you can turn into a lot of profit reselling those items on eBay. Let me kind of introduce you to me and why you'll learn a lot about flea markets and eBay. My parents started a flea market business when I was 7 years old. And from age 7 to about age 21, I sold at Southern California flea markets every weekend. And then during the summer vacation, I sold there on weekdays as well. And this is actually a picture of one of the local flea markets. I believe this is the Rose Bowl Antique Flea Market in Pasadena, California. It's one of the longest running flea markets, and they specialize in antiques and collectibles and things like that. It's a really fun place to go, but you've got to be ready to really walk a lot because it is a massive, massive flea market here in Pasadena in the Southern California area. Now, as a kid, I learned how to negotiate at flea markets because I was always on the hunt for those little Hot Wheels cars, which were my collecting passion. So when I was a kid, we're talking about maybe the early 70s, I would, my parents and I would finish setting up our little swap meet stand, and then I'd go walking aisle by aisle looking for Hot Wheels cars. And now at the time, they weren't vintage. Now they are. Now they're worth a lot of money. But back then, they were just toy cars, and I just loved cars. So I would go aisle by aisle looking for Hot Wheels, and I developed my own little strategies at that time, and I've refined them over the years for not only finding stuff and getting good deals, but also negotiating. I've seen flea markets from both the seller's and the buyer's perspective. So I have a unique understanding of the dynamics and the psychology of negotiating at flea markets, and you're going to get a lot of that in this presentation. It's safe to say I am a flea market expert. Okay. Not sure everybody can be proud of that, but I am. Now, when I discovered eBay in 1998, I was amazed at this online selling venue that had seemingly sprung up overnight. I was over at my friend Joe's office. He had invited me to show me all about eBay because I had heard this word being thrown about, eBay here, eBay there, and I didn't know what eBay was. That, as you know, eBay hit the collecting community first because it really was a community of people selling collectibles initially. And because I was now an adult collecting vintage Hot Wheels cars, same cars I had collected as a kid and played with as a kid, this word eBay kept popping up in the collector community. So I asked my friend Joe, or I was telling my friend Joe, "Hey Joe, what is this eBay thing? What is this?" And this is about 1998. He says, "Oh, it's this website where, people sell vintage Hot Wheels, they sell collectibles of all kinds. You should check it out." And the funny thing is, at that time, we had a computer, but it wasn't connected to the internet. My wife used the computer for bookkeeping, and that's about it. That was the only reason we had a computer. So I went over to my friend Joe's office in Long Beach, California, and went up to the high-rise building there, and he had his computer connected to the internet, right? Now today it sounds really funny, but back then not everybody was connected to the internet. And he showed me eBay, and he popped up some vintage Hot Wheels cars on there, and man, I was just blown away. I'm like, this is crazy. How do I get on here? How do I get my cars on here? Because I already had a successful business buying and selling these little Hot Wheels cars. So that just blew me away, and that led to, who knows, just an amazing history of buying and selling on eBay and that kind of thing. So that's a little bit about my experience on eBay. By this time, as an adult, I had made a hobby of collecting vintage Hot Wheels, and I turned it into a business, selling my cars via mail order and in toy collecting magazines. Okay, this is before eBay came along. And as you can see, this picture here is just hundreds and hundreds of vintage Hot Wheels cars that sell for anywhere from $20 to $500 typically. And some of the more expensive Hot Wheels cars I've sold have sold for $4,250. One of them sold for $8,500, and the most expensive Hot Wheels car I ever sold was $9,500. So these cars are very collectible. They're in very high demand, and that has been my main eBay business ever since I started on eBay back in February of 1998. So, I'm sorry, 1999 is when I started. So anyway, that's a little bit about my eBay background. As soon as I heard about eBay, I immediately started selling some of my vintage Hot Wheels cars there, and I made 1,200 bucks my first week, and I never looked back. I was hooked. I was so excited. Now, since then, I've become the leading expert on how to make giant profits on eBay. My proven eBay system was featured on TV infomercials for 11 years, and through that show, we were able to help more than 300,000 people learn how to make money on eBay for themselves and their family. And I'm very, very proud of that. It's one of my, I would say, legacies, is that we've had so many success stories and helped so many people. Now, my show was seen by millions of people on networks like CNBC, Fox Business Channel, Discovery, The Learning Channel, History, and most other major cable networks. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to turning flea market trash into eBay treasure. I've just kind of gone over a brief history of my experiences in flea markets as well as my experiences in eBay. And when you think about it, eBay is really just nothing but one giant flea market. The main difference, though, is that with eBay, you have access to anyone in the world that might be interested in your product. Now, in this particular Udemy course, I'm going to show you specific types of items you can buy at flea markets and then flip on eBay for giant profits. In the next lecture, you'll discover why it is so easy to make high profits by buying at flea markets and then selling on eBay.